Backpay, otherwise known as a retroactive check for millions of Social Security beneficiaries. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, now this is a great question that was recently brought to my attention down below in the comment section from one of you right here in the community who reached out and asked, will Social Security beneficiaries be receiving a back payment or a retroactive check as a result of the current situation? Now again, like I said, this is a really good question and I want to bring you all the details on this and what it means for millions of beneficiaries, so let's get right into it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side every single day, watching all this new information hitting the wire, doing the necessary research, and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on and how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course anything popping up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low-income or fixed-income beneficiary. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and always remember, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and as always, that is my promise to you and everybody right here in the community. Alright, thanks again. Let's get into it and talk about this good question and talking about back pay or a retroactive check as a result of the current situation. Here's what it comes down to, and I want to break this down in further detail. It's not so much that there's going to be a back payment or retroactive checks, but rather more like a reduction to expenses going forward. I know, confusing stuff, right? Let me break this down for you because this was a really good question and I agree. We should be getting some kind of compensation as a result of this, and believe it or not, we actually are getting a little bit of compensation, but it's not really in the form of a check arriving in your bank account, but rather more like reductions to further expenses going forward. So let me explain what all of this actually means. All right, so here's what it comes down to. So let me actually rewind for just a little bit. Now stick with me here because I want to explain the situation here and how we arrived at this point and the decisions they've made for us. Don't you love when they make decisions for us? I mean, gotta love it, right? When they make the important decisions for us on our behalf. I mean, seriously, not a fan, right? I like to make our own decisions. Thank you very much. Anyway, here's what it comes down to. So way back in late 2021, we got the announcement out of CMS, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, that announced that Medicare Part B premiums were going to be increasing by about 14.5% by $21.60 per month from $148 in 2021 to $170.10 in 2022. That was a huge increase, and a lot of us were thinking, you've got to be kidding me right now. As prices are rising on everything, nobody has any money, and here they are coming in, raising the Medicare Part B premium by another $21.60. We thought, you've got to be kidding me right now, right? Well, during that time, a bunch of lawmakers were coming forward, including Bernie Sanders was one of the big ones around this, saying, this is not working. You got to do something about this. We need to see some kind of retroactive or some kind of back payments to the millions of beneficiaries, and we need to get something done by this. This is not going to work for beneficiaries. Well, then for months and months, we heard about all this, back and forth, like, oh, we're going to send out a retroactive payment. We're going to get some kind of back pay going forward. We're going to get something figured out for the beneficiaries. Well, then sure enough, months later, they came back and said, the logistics behind this, we can't actually issue a back payment, but rather we'll make it up to them in the future. And all the time I kept saying, yeah, right, we'll see about that. Well, sure enough, a few months ago, we did get the announcement out of CMS yet again, and they said that they're going to be lowering the Medicare Part B premium in 2023. They're going to be reducing it by $5.20. So, long story short, here's what it comes down to. Remember, 2021 to 2022, Medicare Part B premiums went up by about 14.5%. $21.60 is how much they increased the premium for about 63 million Medicare beneficiaries. Now, here's what they're doing. From 2022 to 2023, they're reducing the Medicare Part B premium by about 3%. Funny how that works, right? They raise it 14.5% from 2021 to 2022, and they reduce it by 3% from 2022 to 2023. You've got to be kidding me. Seriously, they raise it, 5 times more that one time, and now they're lowering it. You know what I mean? So they raised it 5 times more than what they're lowering it. Make sense? Yeah, it seems how that kind of works out, right? Always works in their favor. Anyway, I'm trying not to get too distracted here by this. But anyway, here's what it comes down to. Like I said earlier at the beginning of this video, it's not necessarily that they're going to be issuing a retroactive or back payment, but rather reducing expenses. So here's what it comes down to. In 2023 through the entire calendar year, yes, Medicare Part B premiums will be reduced by $5.20 per month. So, like I said, no checks will be arriving when it comes down to this anyway, but rather it's going to be a reduction to the Medicare Part B premium in 2023. Now remember, the Medicare Part B premium is active as of the calendar year. Just like we've talked about in other videos, there's some things that run by the fiscal year for the federal government and some things that run by the actual calendar year. The Medicare Part B premium is the actual calendar year. So January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023 is when this will actually run through, okay? So the Medicare Part B premium in 2022 was $170.10. Now again, I totally understand some people pay more than that because of penalties or, late claims, things like this, and a variety of other issues. But again, the base price for Medicare Part B premium for 2022 was $170.10. They're going to reduce it by $5.20 throughout the entire year of 2023, which will bring it down to $164.90 in 2023. So again, $5.20. So that's what it really comes down to. So this person that reached out just a couple days ago asking, are we going to be getting retroactive payments, retroactive checks, or back pay for all of this? The simple answer is not really. It's not really a retroactive check. It's not going to be a back payment, but rather it's going to be a reduction to further expenses going forward. So basically we're going to save $5.20 per month going forward through the entire year of 2023, which by the way, that translates into about, what is that? $62 through the course of the entire year. Roughly, it's about $62. Not much. You know what I mean? Not much at all. Actually, it's not even $62. It's about $61.20. Or, yeah, no, it's about $62. Anyway, I'm off by a little bit, but it's about, call it $62, roughly, give or take a few cents. It's not much. So anyway, that's really what it comes down to. And that will not be sent back to us. However, to be totally fair, a few months ago, maybe, 9 months or so ago, they were playing around with the idea of actually sending out retroactive payments. They were actually playing around with the idea of sending some of that money back to us because basically what they were doing in 2022 was collecting the premiums as a result of the anticipated very expensive Alzheimer's prescription, that one that costs $56,000 a year per patient. Remember that? We talked about it quite a bit through the course of the year because we were trying to get updates on it and they were doing a lot of talking about it. So as a result of that very expensive Alzheimer's prescription, they were actually saying, okay, we're going to start collecting premiums in advance on that one because they thought it was going to be very expensive. Well, it is still very expensive. They reduced the price by about 50% down to about $28,000 or so per patient per year. But then again, the number of people receiving this medication is going to be significantly less. So again, reducing exposure and reducing expenses to CMS yet again. So therefore, basically they were getting themselves prepaid on the backs of all the beneficiaries. And then they said, oh, well, actually, I guess we don't need all this money. So now we're going to pay it back in a little bit in 2023. So that's how they made it up to us. Kind of, right? So again, we can come back and say, well, they're not really making it up to us. Yeah, I know, right? A little bit, a little tiny bit, $5 a month. It'll get you, what's $5 a month get you? A gallon and a half of gas? Depending on where you're located in the country, it might even be only 1 gallon of gas these days. So that's basically what they're making it us to it. They're basically giving us a gallon of gas each month. So anyway, that's what it comes down to. Not a retroactive check, not a back payment, but rather a reduction of actual expenses in the form of Medicare Part B premiums through the entire course of 2023. Hope that answers the question. But this is a really good one. And yes, here's the thing. For a lot of time there was a lot of talk about actually sending out a check. But like I said, as a result of that, them talking through the details on this, they said, logistically, we just can't get it done. It's going to cost us way too much. Well, now they're just reducing the premium going forward. So that's what it comes down to. Anyway, good question. I appreciate it. This is the answer, and this is unfortunately what we have to deal with. There's nothing we can do about it. We just have to take what they give us, and we all know what they give is very far less than what they actually take, right? So anyway, hope this one helps you. I'm here for you in any way that I can be. Please leave your comments, your questions, and your feedback down below. As I do get more details, of course, I'll be here for you, breaking it down, letting you know what's out there right now. There's a lot of things that are changing, a lot of new information popping up. Either way, I'm here for you. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.